In a major setback for India, the Trump administration has revoked the 2018 sanctions waiver that allowed India to develop the Chabahar port in Iran. The move is part of the Trump administration's crackdown on international illegal financial networks that benefit the Iranian government and also its proxies in West Asia. Now, this decision was announced in a release by the US State Department. And according to this release, the United States will now sanction several individuals and entities based in Hong Kong and the United Arab Emirates. Additionally, it would also lift the exemption to the sanctions that was issued in 2018 as part of its campaign of maximum pressure on Iran. The US sanctions will also apply to exempted countries, including India, starting from the 29th of September. In 2018, under Donald Trump's first term, the United States had exempted India from sanctions related to the Chabahar port, acknowledging its humanitarian and regional connectivity benefits. Now, the exemptions had continued even under Joe Biden. The Chabahar port in Iran is of immense strategic importance to New Delhi. The port provides India with a direct trade route to Afghanistan and Central Asia, bypassing Pakistan. It also strengthens India's regional presence and offers an alternative to China's Belt and Road Initiative. The revocation of the 2018 sanctions waiver is now expected to affect India, which in the month of May 2024 had signed a 10-year contract to operate a terminal at the Chabahar port. It may expose Indian entities such as India Ports Global Limited to potential US sanctions under the Iran Freedom and Counter-Proliferation Act. This move could also disrupt India's trade with Afghanistan and other Central Asian nations. It could delay the developmental projects, increase cost for Indian companies and compromise the port's strategic importance, ultimately straining the India-US relations and also impacting India's economic and strategic interests. Now, the end of the sanctions waiver for the Chabahar port has come at a time when New Delhi is in fact facing additional American tariffs for purchasing Russian oil. Donald Trump has said that he is a close friend of the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. However, he will continue to impose the additional 25% tariffs on India till some kind of a deal can be reached.
I'm very close to India. I'm very close to the Prime Minister of India. I spoke to him the other day, wished him a happy birthday. We have a very good relationship. He put out a beautiful statement too. We have, but I said, I sanctioned them.
All right, now to help make sense of what is happening and to tell us more on this, we're joined by Mr. Vikram Sood, who is a former chief of India's Research and Analysis Wing. Mr. Sood, thank you very much indeed, sir, for joining us here on WION. Now, this decision that's been announced by the US government to revoke the exemptions for the sanctions for trading with Iran, how do you think this move is likely to impact India? Is this a move that was announced by the United States only to put more pressure on Iran, or was there an element to also try and exert some pressure on India?
A number of things in this, if I could say that. One is the obvious pressure on Iran, but also definitely pressure on India. I think the United States, apart from putting pressure on these two countries, on us and Iran, wants to have a return to the region by demanding they want to come into Bagram Airport.
Right.
Bagram Airport would then be sort of meant to keep China in some kind of a check, especially the Xinjiang flank and the route through Central Asia into the West. And that would help them overlook that. So it is a point of where even its first move to, I think they sort of pushed Saudi Arabia and Pakistan together. That's one way of looking at it to form a deal. And the other is that just maybe the Saudis are very apprehensive about U.S. Ability to adhere to its agreements as it has been discarding or changing its mind on many issues all along since Trump came back. So, so it may be a decision that the Saudis took, that they felt that they needed a greater security in the region, so they tapped into Pakistan, get a nuclear kind of an umbrella, and it suits Pakistan too, also, because it gives them a kind of presence in West Asia, respectability, if I may call it, that they're now dealing with the monarchy, and that there are also rumors that UAE and others might join this bilateral agreement that Pakistan and the Saudis have come to.
Right.
So I'm not very sure whether it is the American pressure or it is the Saudi desire, but it doesn't sound good for us.
Right. Interesting that you say that it doesn't sound good for us. Now, a lot of people have said that this agreement that was struck between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, this security deal, was done purely because of what happened with Qatar being bombed by the Israelis, even though the Americans have their largest military base, the Al Udeid base on the outskirts of Doha. With that being said, the question is obviously this: can Pakistan even offer a nuclear security umbrella for another nation like Saudi Arabia? Does Pakistan actually have it in it to offer a nuclear security umbrella in the manner that the Americans offer a nuclear security umbrella for the NATO nations of Europe?
I think it's more messaging than anything else. It's pro forma kind of a thing, because Pakistan is traditionally been used by Saudi and other Gulf states when they provided them security for their personal security for the monarchies, etc. That is what will continue to happen, and I doubt if, in real terms, on the ground, this means much of a threat to India, in the sense of Pakistan giving a nuclear cover to Saudi Arabia.
Right. I think that's... Yes, go ahead, make the point.
The other thing is that, and now what was I going to say? The other thing is, if Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have a joint mutual defense agreement, another terror attack on India, right? And we have our Operation Sindoor still on, right?
Right.
Then we have the right to attack.
Right.
That's what we've told them. Now, the joint, the mutual defense agreement for us would mean that if you're going to attack, defend yourselves jointly against us, are you going to defend yourselves jointly against us?
I think that's a question that still needs an answer, that needs to be explored by both Islamabad and Riyadh. But we're completely out of time. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Sood, for joining us. Thank you very much indeed, sir. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.